Well, I heard two men talking on the radio in a crossfire kind of new reality show, uncovering the ways to plan the next big attack. While they were counting down the ways to stab the brother in the be right back after this, the unavoidable kiss with a minty fresh death breath is sure to outlast this catastrophe. Dance with me, cause if you got the poison, I've got the remedy. The remedy is the experience.
It's Thursday and it's 4:35 here for Hot Talk KOAN Radio. Kevin Scholla, my weekly guest, calling in for the Bear Facts and Grizzly Details. Kevin is a reporter, announcer, and he's the host of the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio. And welcome to the show, Kevin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Burke.
How the heck are you, man?
Doing well. How about you, more importantly?
Well, I'm doing, as you know, I got these knees replaced, so I'm take my medicine, come to work, do my show, and then go back home and lay in that chair. And the stretches, the physical therapy is the worst of it, though, because that's when you got to stretch that knee, and you don't like it, but you have to. I feel like a baby. You know what my physical therapist lady told me? This is embarrassing. I said, does everybody scream and holler like me? She says, only the girls do.
That's great. That's great. Well, hey, listen, she's honest, right? So if something goes the right way or the wrong way, you're getting the real deal, so that's a good sign.
She tells me I'm doing really good, though. I'm way ahead of schedule.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
So, hey, let's get it right out of the chute here, man. This deal with Sarah Palin and Trig and the dog, I just like, and it's still in the news. I mean, it's still revolving through the cycles. I don't get it. I want to hear your take on it.
Yeah, quite a situation.
Since you're the host of the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio and all, I want to get it right from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I guess most people know all about it, right? I mean, Sarah Palin posts on Facebook and Twitter just a nice Happy New Year message, and in the picture, in the post, she included some pictures, and little Trig, 6-year-old Trig with Down syndrome, is standing on Jill Hadassah, the new Palin pooch that is a service dog, by the way,
sure,
that was trained specially at the Puppy Jake Foundation in Iowa and was brought to be Trig's buddy, which she has been, in the brief time they've had her so far. And it was a message about thinking out of the box. Trig was trying to help do the dishes, and here people started to actually try to pin animal abuse on Governor Palin and on Trig Palin, which is even more outrageous. I mean, look, it comes down to this.
Hey,
if this was posted by anyone else, these people are not worried about any dogs. It's just another opportunity to pounce on Governor Palin. And, I wrote a Breitbart piece about it, just how ridiculous it is. I'm a dog guy all the way, and, tried to put that personal spin on things in that particular piece. But then, was surprised a couple days later. Governor Palin was gracious enough to post one of my pieces on Facebook and on Twitter. It was an open letter to Jill Hadassah, the dog, from my dog, Rex.
Oh,
and
that's right. Yeah. I read that. Yeah.
Because, everyone was talking about Trig or talking about Governor Palin or talking about their thoughts on this, and PETA and these crazy far left-wing groups. And, Rex wrote Jill a letter because no one was talking to her directly. So, he just wanted
So the two dogs communicated. Your dog, because it was
interesting.
People should go to Breitbart.com and look this up, Kevin Scholla. And anyways, you did it in a way that where the two dogs were kind of, you wrote the op-ed column as the two dogs are talking to one another. And so go ahead.
Well, what was funny was after it was sent, a lot of people got a kick out of it. The comments on Facebook after Governor Palin put it there were just great. I mean, you had your wackos once in a while, like
sure,
just calling her all sorts of names like they do no matter what she posts. But most of it was really neat, Eddie. I mean, the word love was written so many times, just love it, with exclamation points, way to go, Rex, things like this. The two funniest ones that made me laugh, one guy wrote, how the heck does that dog know how to type, with a bunch of exclamation points? And then my other favorite
It's a service
was,
dog, man.
Well, no, Rex.
Yeah,
is not.
Rex is
He's
not
a
the
dog.
service
Yeah,
dog, right?
Yeah, we found him on a highway, but the thing, he's a city guy. But the thing about the other funny one was Rex told Jill that he's a black lab as well, but he's not a purebred like her. He's a mutt,
Yes.
and we think he's Jack Russell. And another guy wrote, "No, yes, definitely Jack Russell. I could tell by the grammar." So, I think a lot of people had fun with it, and that was a point of it too. I mean, to put into light what's going on here, you're picking. First of all, a child and his dog. I mean, is really. I don't know why anybody has anything to say about it anyway. But then a child with Down syndrome who has a dog that is there specifically to help him.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But I do want to say, Eddie, publicly on your show, I appreciate all the emails and tweets and phone calls and texts thanking me for the letter and commending me for the letter. But Rex wrote the letter. I have nothing to do with it. So I just feed the guy in the morning.
You just gave him access to your laptop. That was it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So, I mean, but I mean,
hey,
here we go again.
Go ahead.
Ellen DeGeneres
there you go.
Posted a picture.
I was going to say the same thing.
Say?
Yeah. Go ahead. Say it.
Simpatico, baby. Ellen, a while back, and let's make this clear, she was the 2009 PETA Woman of the Year, named the PETA Woman of the Year. She posted a picture, a little girl standing on a Labrador Retriever's back, brushing her teeth. Adorable picture. Nothing wrong with it. Did anyone know about it till a couple of days ago? No, because there was no backlash, because who did it? Ellen. Who's, a friend of the lamestream media. And listen, no problems with Ellen at all. Matter of fact, I think there's a lot of positive things to say about Ellen.
It was a very cute picture, too. I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to use the word cute or not. Maybe that's for my daughters and my wife. But it was just an adorable picture. I mean, both pictures were of Trig standing on it and just the whole caption there. And then the one with Ellen's, I don't know who that was. I don't know if it was Ellen's friend or granddaughter or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's not married. I mean, whatever.
But I mean, to put that out there, and we haven't heard a thing about it. And why? Because it was not Governor Palin.
Right.
So, no matter what your opinions are about whether a child was on the dog or whether the picture should have been showed or not, most of it was that weird, visceral hate toward Governor Palin, no matter what she posted. And just for a little more, solid expert opinion, it's one thing for all of us to say what we think as just dog owners or just as people with an opinion. But I spoke to Ted Yoho the other day, who challenged John Boehner for the speakership.
Yes.
And we spoke mostly about that. But we also spoke about this puppygate, as I like to call it, flap, because Yoho is a veterinarian. And so I asked him, as from his doctor perspective, what do you think of this? And first of all, he chuckled, and he said, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, Kevin, if that dog had any problems, Trig would have known about it real quick. And I
dogs would get up. They'll get up. Yeah. They'll just get up, man.
And listen, Rex put that in his letter. My son, who's 4, he's wrestling the dog all the time, and sometimes he comes out with a scratch or two because Rex told him enough's enough.
Yeah.
And I tell him too, leave the dog alone already. But anybody. Another thing, half of these people who are crying, not only are they like PETA folks and think these equating animals with people, but they also, a lot of them don't have a lot of interpersonal relationships. You can tell if you look at the nastiest comments and then go to their profiles. These are all people, no spouse, no significant other, no children. It's the crazy cat lady circa 2015. So.
They're just sitting in their underwear in front of their computer because they don't have a job, or they're just losers.
Well, hey, listen, we know that's the most of the Palin detractors out there. I mean, it's a scary bunch.
It sure is. Hey, let's see. Let's go to this. In fact, you brought it up, and it's current. So let's talk about this little uproar with the speaker. We knew it wasn't going to amount to anything, but it still made a point where 3 people signed up to run against him. And, obviously it didn't make it to a second vote, and they was hoping maybe they could get enough 27 or 28, but then that had something to do with how many people were actually in the, what do they call that when they're inside the building? But Anyway,
chamber.
in the chamber, right? So, what's the story on all that?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I guess we were right of what we, guessed last week in our segment.
Right.
We said we didn't think it would happen, but I tell you what, I mean, it's a bittersweet situation. I couldn't be more pleased with Ted Yoho and with Louis Gohmert that they actually put themselves out there and did this. And if you listen to Gohmert, he'll tell you that they had the votes, and some of these weasels, backed down at the last moment.
Yeah.
I think the most upsetting part to the common sense crowd is some of the freshman faces, congressmen and congresswomen, who campaigned in a whole different manner and then went ahead and did not squeeze the orange. Yeah, and they did go ahead and say yes to John Boehner. And here he is, immediately after hugging Pelosi. What was he calling her, sis or something? Apparently with the open microphone, and then. And now he's going to be punishing those who didn't vote for him by taking them off of key committees. I mean, talk about politics as usual. I think the people who stood up to him, whether the congressmen who put their names out there and those who did not vote for him, deserve a lot of praise, and also those people who were engaged in this discussion. So it is bad that he's back, but it is great that they made the point, and that, you're talking 100 years, right, or so, whatever the year was, since you had this type of situation where a speaker gets back with this little support. So, it doesn't speak a lot about politicians in general, though, Eddie.
They always pick power and leadership over principle. Yeah. And when they get there, they know, hey, if you don't follow the rules, you're never going to get an office any bigger. That's it, And anyways, hey, let's take a break. Go ahead.
Okay, Eddie.
No, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
I was just going to say, I think that it also shows like a Boehner. Obviously, nobody really wants him in there. Either they voted against him or they voted for him out of fear. Mm-hmm. Yet this person, why would you even want that gig if that's the way you're in it? But you're right. It's just this power-hungry weirdness, and that's why we need non-politicians to be politicians.
Yeah, I agree. Kevin Scholla, the Bear Facts and Grizzly Details, more of it. We're going to talk to him about this jihadis and all that's going on in France and what he thinks about here locally. And, of course, the NFL, what's going to happen Sunday. We'll be right back here with Kevin Scholla.